Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Someone on a call this week said I should preface this, they said this and then they moved on like it wasn't the saddest thing they'd ever said. They said, if you were alive in the 90s. And if I hadn't been on camera, I would have fallen out of my chair.
Just death drop. Yeah. Out of frame.
What do you mean if I was alive in the 90s? Hello?
Like, what is that supposed to mean?
Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, God.
Excuse me while I go reapply my retinol. Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Into the Twilight. We're old and crusty. But still
our
slay.
bones are becoming dust with every minute of these podcasts.
Yeah.
So take your vitamins, folks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just the nonchalance of saying that and then continuing on with the conversation.
Right. As if that's just a normal way to start a sentence.
It's just like, and I recognize it. I've taught people who were not alive in the 1990s. I understand that. It was just the way that it's like, oh, if you don't have to scroll that far when entering in your birth information.
Right.
It's just like, good God. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Cool.
Cool, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm not having a crisis about it. So, hello, I'm old. That's Father Time. We've been on this podcast for eons.
Yep.
Just watching the world as it slowly burns. But for this hour, you don't have to worry about it because we talk about things that are important in the context of this hour, but generally don't matter. And that's helpful. For some. It's helpful for us. Hey, before we get into this, the fuck shit that we talk about here, it's been a while since I've talked to you when you weren't berating me for watching too many podcasts, TikToks about Pedro Pascal.
Sure. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to just remind me throughout the week, like, stop doing that. How are you?
I am living. I am here.
Oh.
I come to you with a show.
Thank God. Okay. We're in a drought right now.
We're in a drought. You know, the only shows I've talked about in the last few weeks have been Glee, derogatory. So
Damn.
I want to actually give a good reality competition show to the fold here.
Yes, dude. And it's called Chopped. Have you heard of it?
Listen, that is more relevant than
oh, no.
It's okay. Here's my pitch, right?
Yeah.
When this is how I think,
Sure,
this is on Netflix, how I think they should market this show.
Yeah.
Imagine Top Chef.
Okay.
But Big Brother.
Okay.
And that should be the logline, right? It's called Pressure Cooker. It's on Netflix. It is a very short, 8-episode cooking reality competition show in which they all live in a house together. They are judging their own foods, essentially.
Whoa.
So they don't know, who made what. It's also, strategy of, keeping your allies and stuff. And it's, people, playing the game. Because some people are very traditional, being I'm just here to, vote for the best food. But some people are I want to make sure I can help whoever is going to keep me afloat, So there's, different dynamics going on here. And it is wonderful. The production design, wild. All the food stuff looks amazing. The drama is incredible. Because chefs can be petty. And I love it. I eat it up. I want it all.
That's the best part about cooking shows.
Right.
They're overworked and therefore angry.
Right. Yeah. There's so much, fire under them for being fucked over for years. And you just feel it in there. And it's a very quick watch. It's very satisfying. It's very fun to like play the game kind of with them. Also, notably, there's like not a host, which I think is key to this and why it makes sense.
The host is the Instant Pot. Yeah.
Well, literally, they have like the like when the like orders come in, like a receipt paper kind of thing. Like that's how they get all of their information, which I think is very fascinating.
Whoa.
Because I feel like a big problem with Netflix reality shows is like the hosts are kind of insufferable at times.
100%.
And it's nice to like envision what a reality show would look like when like a host already doesn't do anything anyway, like just not have it and like just keep the emotions and stuff of this like very simulated experiment in here, and it's very cool.
It kind of sounds like all of the best parts of one of our favorite shows, Four Weddings.
Yes.
But cooking.
Right. It's like a little less shady than Four Weddings most of the time, but it is like that same spirit is there.
And you get the living situation of America's Next Top Model, which is
right.
Very good.
Chef's kiss, literally. Would recommend.
Oh, I love this. I mean, no one is surprised about this if they're listening to the show, but like, I fucking love reality TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
This is so good. Thank you for this.
How are you doing, my dude?
I'm here. I'm alive, which is great. Yeah. I will say, surprisingly, I didn't expect to be seeing as much resurgent. I mean, that's the whole thing from the past year, right? It's like everything that we had in like elementary school and middle school is like coming back.
Yeah,
it's like popular again. I guess I've just been constantly affronted by it and surprised every time that I open any social media platform, and it's like, hey, guess what's popular again? And it's like everything that I owned. It's like, I'm afraid one day I'm gonna open up TikTok and they're like, oh my god, did you remember Claire's? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do remember Claire's.
And there's gonna be like an influencer holding those like really tiny bottles of nail polish that you could get at Claire's that had like maybe a use of nail polish in them, and it was like all lead. But that's okay.
Oh my god. We're all still alive, so
it's for now.
Yeah.
My happy thing. This is a surprise to me. So my TikTok algorithm has been really pushing lives to me, specifically like ASMR lives. Mm-hmm. And that's not what I go to TikTok for.
That's not your truth. Yeah.
No, it's not. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to just open one of these and give it a shot. And it ended up not being an ASMR thing. Thank God. But are you at all familiar with the mini brands?
Yes.
TM?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. So I knew of the name of these, but I didn't really know what they were. Right. Until I stumbled on this specific content creator. And I'm going to say, like, if you've been anywhere, probably even if you have, like, children, this is not a new concept to you. I feel like there are tons of people who open these.
Yeah. Trying to collect all the, tiny Clorox wipes bottles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I found out, though, by watching this specific creator that there's also another type of Pokeball mini brand. And it's called Miniverse, where you make some of the fake food with, like, it's all resin. And so some of them are like, make this banana smoothie, and you have to assemble it with resin. And something about that really was very engaging to watch.
Sure, yeah.
It was entrancing, I might say, because I have no interest in purchasing these for myself because first of all, they're like $10 each. And it's like, for why? No. But I mean, listen, it's working out. People are buying all of these. And also, what would I do with, like, what would I do with them? But I love to watch people open them. So, the specific creator, because there's a lot of people that do these and now my algorithm is full of people like screaming while opening these, and that's not the vibe. This was just very like chill. I will give her credit. It is Mini Life Blends, and she was just very happy the whole time of just like opening these. But I found it very charming how many small, because listen, I get it. I played with Polly Pockets. I ate a shoe every once in a while. I get it. They're small and charming. I think that's kind of beautiful. So I get the fulfillment of seeing them opened and arranged, but I don't need to go and buy them, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's kind of the perfect thing of like, what am I going to do with tiny little, I love tchotchkes, right? I love tiny little, mystery bags and all that shit. Like, I fall for that hard often, but there is the same joy that I would get out of that is watching other people do it. And I feel like TikTok really solidified that for me of being like, yeah, that's all this is. It's just like a little endorphin rush, or like all the gashapon, like, TikTokers and stuff like that I get all the time.
And everyone in the chat was so excited, and I don't get any, it's like a whole, I don't understand any of it. I was just like, oh, it's a really small guac. That's cute. And like, I was just letting it play while doing Sudoku, so I was like sort of paying attention, but not really. Right. And these people are enraptured. It's like their whole thing. So I don't understand it. And I don't know that I want to, because I don't want to go down, like I don't want to be one of those Beanie Baby moms that like empties her savings on mini brands. But I just think it's charming and I understand the appeal. So go off. At this time, future Cody, if you could put a really sad royalty-free ballad over this, that would be great.
Absolutely, you got it.
Just some raindrops and tears.
Yeah, really set the scene.
We have a current events corner, and it's really sad. Is it surprising, friends? No. This sad breaking news, in fact, is brought to us by Peter White, real name, probably, at Deadline. Peacock is announced. Shut up.
Sorry, serious face. We are gathered here today.
Shut up. Peacock is announced. The Vampire Academy is canceled.
What the fuck?
I'm honestly like pissed off about this.
I listen. We've had this song and dance happen before, right?
We rooted for you.
And Vampire Academy, did it have its moments? Sure. But like, it was actually, it worked. It made sense. It was an interesting adaptation that like took it to a different universe or whatever, a different idea of many different things going on. And it ended in a way that obviously was set up for like the long haul. And now we have nothing. Yeah. Now we have no resolution. Ugh.
This is my... First of all, Peacock, you're on my fucking shit list for multiple reasons.
Yeah, promote your damn shows challenge. Yeah.
How dare you get me invested in the show and then be like, no. Second of all, I'm going to put my conspiracy glasses on for a second. Do you think this is Anne Rice from the grave being like, there can only be one, bitches, and it's my show?
Yeah, I mean, listen, very happy that there's going to be more seasons of Interview with the Vampire, but we don't, why can't we can have more, We still have What We Do in the Shadows. We have other shows.
If we have learned anything from the recession that we had, it's that there can be multiple vampire shows happening at the same time.
Right. This is a harbinger for recession. We have vampires in pop culture. We have flash mobs getting back into the zeitgeist.
Okay, can we talk about this for a second? Because that was a real jump scare. I'm honestly terrified.
Yeah. But like these are, emos and goths getting back. There's a new fucking Fall Out Boy record. These are all the signs, guys. Like this is...
Everyone is thirsting over Maddie Healy again.
Right, like, sleaze. Indie sleaze is coming back. Like, this is how it happens.
Miley's on the radio.
Right, Miley's back. Like, these are, like, this is all check, another one. Like,
if Peacock should know anything right now, it's that you don't cancel YA drama series. You make more.
You capitalize on it. Come on now. Like, while you still have time, let's go. This is how you make your bank, baby. Ugh. So I'm pissed. I know there were certain things that were kind of wild and wacky, but I genuinely did enjoy that show. And, like, I actively, like, whenever an episode ended, I wanted to keep watching it and was, like, upset that I had to wait a week for the show and not spoil it myself. Like, it genuinely had good shit going on. And, like, the performers were very promising. Like, had really good shit going on. And, like, we're all relatively new to the scene, you know?
I'm blaming this on James Cameron.
Fuck.
I don't have a reason to, but I'm blaming it on him.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta put it somewhere. And he can handle it. He'll be fine, you know?
Jim, you're on my fucking
Jimbo.
shit list. Jimmy, we need to talk. Here's what I think.
Yeah.
We talked about this off recording, so we need to have it for posterity. My initial thought was, if there was a way for it to be saved, it would go to HBO.
Mm-hmm.
However, HBO's on fucking shaky ground right now.
Right.
So Cody had a great idea. Would you like to share it with the class?
Yeah, I'm something of a genius myself. Just kidding.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, I just think within the landscape of streaming, which is much more volatile and unstable than it's ever been, who would have guessed, right? When everyone makes their own streaming service, that things are just going to be a little bit more different. I just think with, like, all the ones, like, Netflix does not seem like a good fit. Like, I think, like, thematically, yes. But I feel like, obviously, we've seen this happen before, where they give something a shot and then they immediately cancel it.
Yeah.
So I think Apple TV is an interesting, imperfect, but, like, interesting choice.
I think this is genius.
There's room for it. The budget's there. All of their set stuff and, like, production design is on point, right? And there's, like...
They got the money.
They got the money, for sure. And, like, there is a hole in, like, their programming that speaks to that specific audience. Like, a lot of them are... It's still, like, drama, and that's still, like, within their wheelhouse of stuff. But, like, for the youths, and I think it could be cool and make sense.
I love this idea.
This is my campaign. This is
your fight song?
This is my fight song. This is everything. So, if anyone listens to this show, works at Apple TV, if Tim Apple listens to our podcast, slide into our DMs or give us an email.
Oh my god,
please!
The way that I would die. So, sad news. Got it out of the way. Could you tell us about this weird news? Please and thank you.
Yeah, we have a little palate cleanser for this, because, you know,
emphasis on palate.
Yes, strong emphasis on palate. It's time for a rare but welcome Robert Pattinson food corner. Pew 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 pew. We know him.
Annual, some might say.
Right, yeah, we know him, we love him. He has weird food habits, specifically with pasta, but a new food group has entered the ring here. One could say.
Oops, all starches.
Oops, all starch. This comes to us from Variety. Ethan Schanfeld. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan.
In which this is framed as Robert Pattinson calling out, like, you know, toxic body standards for, like, male actors, especially, like, for bulking up or, like, trying to look like, you know, a superhero like the Batman. But we do get some, and that's a great thing to talk about. I fully respect it.
Good, valid,
and it's
strong.
a valid point. But the way this goes is that he talks about, like, certain diets that he's been on, and I'm not sure if these are, like, recommended for these roles and stuff. But he basically says that he's tried every single fad on the market, but, like, you know, without, like, consistency going on there. And one of them, notably, is that he, quote, once ate nothing but potatoes for 2 weeks as a detox. Just boiled potatoes and Himalayan pink salt. Apparently it's a cleanse. You definitely lose weight. This man.
So, sir.
Yeah.
You could have just stopped by saying, hey, ditch your diet,
Yeah.
2K23. Actors who have to use any sort of like dieting technique for roles, not great.
Right.
Don't do it.
Shouldn't be a thing. Right.
And then could have said, like, I've done all of these, they're not successful, don't do them.
Right.
Robert. Giving examples to people, especially in January, where we know historically a lot of people tend to go on diets. Not great.
Yeah.
This dude, what are you trying to cleanse? What are you trying to detox out of you? I know that you have access to so many things. You're so rich.
Yeah.
But you try boiled potatoes and salt?
Yeah.
Sir? Like, no shit, you lost weight, homie, but
Yeah.
you don't need to.
Right.
You're good.
You're good, bud. I will say...
I do appreciate
go for it.
his goal for this year.
Yes.
Of just consistency.
Yeah. That's an attainable
I think that's a valid goal.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate the person who spelled his last name wrong, but that's okay. Mistakes happen.
Right. I will say I've clicked through to this because I guess this is a source from another interview from ES, which I don't know what that is, called The Business of Being Robert Pattinson. And this whole interview, he seems, because he's more talking about the Mickey 17 movie that we still don't know too much about. But he seems, literally the interview starts with him being like, he has a baseball cap pulled down over his eyes, and he's been awake since 4 a.m., and it's now 7 p.m. And he says he's totally fine,
Jesus
don't
Christ.
worry. And later, it's like, you know, today I just realized I'm probably not seeing ghosts. It's probably just because I've been drinking about 17 cups of coffee a day.
Robert!
So this man is tired. This man is going through it. Is he okay?
The answer is no. This man has to have a PA somewhere
Yeah.
that can be like, hey, my man, it's been 2 hours. Would you like a snack?
Yeah. Oh my god.
How's your blood sugar? Oh, you've gone over 12 hours. You've had nothing but coffee.
Yeah.
I noticed that you are literally on the ceiling, and you're vibrating. Hey, you good?
Yeah.
You are visibly shaking. I can see your heart
Right.
as if this is Looney Tunes. Are you good?
Yeah.
It seems like you are not good.
No, it does not. But that's our Robert update. He is here. He is trying his best. And he is eating potatoes sometimes.
I would like consistency for this man.
Yes. Yeah.
Of just eat, sir. Please take care of yourself. Speaking of taking care of themselves, I'm worried about our Vampire Academy in the book friends.
Yeah, speaking of people who are not taking care of themselves in any way, shape, or form.
What I remember
Yeah.
last week was we got our friends. They're in Vegas.
Yes.
We had a gaggle of our 5 friends and 2 that were sus.
Mhm.
They had run into Strigoi in a stairwell in Vegas, one of which was Dimitri. And in the process of trying to kill the Strigoi and escape, Rose was like, hey, actually don't kill Dimitri.
Yeah.
And then they ran away. But Rose and Eddie got separated from the group. And we found out, unfortunately, Dimitri killed everybody that was left in the security staff.
Yep.
Eddie's pissed.
Yep.
Lissa's scared. Adrian was kind of shaken up. And Victor and Bobby are gone, girl.
They have left the building.
That's what I recall.
Yeah, no, that's a good recap.
Thank you.
Chapter 11.
That's what you missed, Ungly.
That is what you missed. Fuck. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. Anyway, sorry. I just
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, I was like, where will our characters take us next? Let's find out. So we're not in a great spot, right? Like, things are not going particularly well. Almost everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong in every conceivable way. And we started this chapter.
Hey, did you all miss Rose being, like, talking down to herself?
Yeah, we're gonna
Because
get...
if you did,
welcome back.
we're here.
Yeah, so immediately this chapter starts off with the revelation that, fuck, there's no hope. Like, they are gone. Like, there's no way to find them. Even if we knew where they lived, like, they're not gonna go back there. So, like, there's no rhyme or reason. They are out of town. They're gone. Right. And so they're just like, and Rose, obviously, is beating herself up over all of this, because she's like, all of this is literally my fault. Everything. Like, them leaving, Dimitri, all these, like, people dying, it's all on me. And everyone's mad at me, and I'm mad at me, and no one's having a good time.
And we're in Vegas, so everyone should be having a good time.
Right, we're in Sin City, baby. We should, like, hit the slots. Let's go, baby. So they go back to the witching hour, and they're like, fuck, we gotta, like, figure out game plan. Like, we gotta go back, we gotta, like, figure out what the next plan of action is here.
And this is the vampire owned.
Yes, so there's like guardians, there's Moroi, there's like, it's more of like especially now that they feel more comfortable being here since they don't have a literal fugitive anymore, they could feel like they're here, you know, and not be suspicious, right? And it's just like this big ol' casino situation. Oh god. So,
which Adrian makes a good point.
Yeah.
When he's like, as soon as they get there, I think Lissa decides to go and book tickets,
right,
to get out.
Yeah.
But Adrian's like, well, I'm gonna go play slots.
Yeah, it's like, it actually does kind of make sense. It wouldn't hurt us to, like, chill out a little bit. Vegas.
Yeah, there's witnesses
fun.
And cameras.
Right, there's witnesses and cameras, and also any way that can place us here and not in Alaska at the prison is pretty good to me.
Right.
Like, that seems like a pretty good alibi right there.
One of the best ideas he's had so far.
For real. So, you know, we're doing great. And also we have, like, we're the ones who put Victor away in the first place. They wouldn't suspect us anyway, but extra reinforcements are definitely helpful here.
Exactly.
So, like, Lissa goes to get tickets, with Eddie.
Eddie goes with her.
Yeah, Eddie goes with her. And so it's just like,
Eddie glares at Rose as he walks away.
Yeah, he's not speaking to Rose at all. Eddie's in a little bit of a pissy boy mood, which I get it. And so Adrian is like, fuck yeah, let's drink, baby. let's party in Vegas. And he orders another fancy cocktail. Apparently we find some little vampire lore that there's like, you can add like a shot of blood to like whatever mixed drink you want, which I thought was a very fun detail. And so like you kind of notice that some of these like vampires and stuff have these like, they're just like slightly tinged with red in them. And you're just like, okay, these guys are having a good time.
This part was some Ferrero Rocher is coming in with some nasty lore.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just like, ooh, that's a choice. We have
this scene at the bar has, because naturally at this point, Adrian's like, we are surrounded by Moroi.
Mm-hmm.
We are surrounded by guardians. Yeah. I can let my guard down. Like, nothing bad is going to happen at this hotel.
Yeah.
Rose is in self-shame spiral mode.
Yeah.
So they are in, like, opposite vibes here.
Mm-hmm.
At this bar. And then this fucking dude at the end of the bar.
Yep.
He's like an older guy.
Yeah.
And he's like any old guy. He's not old, but he's like an older dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is just like deciding that he is going to make comments about Rose.
Yeah, and like is talking
not realizing she's had a bad day and she is ready to fucking snap someone's neck.
Right. And in the same way that, like, older guys, especially at, like, I would assume a casino situation or a bar situation, is talking about Rose to Adrian, right? Like, he's not really acknowledging that Rose's existence. And it's just like, fellas, am I right? And it's like, you got a good one over there. A lot of these girls are dried up, you know? And it's like, what?
God.
No, thank you. And Rose is just like, I'm spiraling. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, and it's like, tries to like be a bit more confrontational, being like, don't fucking talk to me or about them, whatever. But Adrian is like, okay, let's fucking play this a certain way. Like, let me do this. All right.
I'm the one that has the charisma here,
yeah.
Rose. So shut up.
Right, exactly. And they start talking about, the older guy sort of brings up the whole Victor Dashkov stuff, and Adrian's putting on the fucking charm. And he's like, what news? Right. Oh my god, that's so wild. Like, I thought he was in a maximum security prison. What? That's so wild. And he's like, yeah. Nobody knows what's going on. Like, nobody know how it happened. People think it's like, and he brings up that it could be an inside job because like the guard who was compelled by Lissa apparently like spoke to people and was like, but something happened to me. It wasn't me, and I don't remember anything. And Adrian's like, ding, 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 ding. This is our in. Like,
right.
What if I like hint that, ooh, yeah, it's totally an inside job. You should like tell people, because you have friends who are like giving you this tea that they're like investigating and stuff, and you should tell them that's what it was. That sounds like really what happened. And he's like, bet for sure. Yeah, totally. You're so right, dude.
So again, another point for Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian's kind of
doing
thriving
cleanup
in Vegas, you know? This is kind of like the best way for him to do his shit.
Then there is like a moment lull in this conversation.
Yeah.
And Rose, out of the corner of her eye, sees something bright and blue and is suddenly distracted by these Moroi showgirls.
Yeah.
And if you are at all familiar with Vegas showgirls, then you are thinking like lots of like rhinestones, lots of feathers, not a lot of clothing. Rose is like jaw to the floor right now.
Yeah.
Not just like completely ogling like all of the other Moroi men right now.
Yeah,
it's like gross.
Yeah, they're all going wild.
Yeah. The interesting thing that I was not expecting, and I was wondering like, why is this dude still talking?
Yeah.
Was why the fuck is this NPC important? Was the Dragomir lore here?
Yeah. He like kind of brings it up casually of like, you know, this Dashkov stuff really, you know, and all their stuff with the Dragomirs like makes me sad for Eric, Lissa's father. And it's like, you know, he was a good guy. And Rose to be like, you knew him? Like, you, what? What the fuck? And he's like, yeah, you know, I've like been around here for a long time. Like, he was here all the time. Like, always loved the girls and like partied with the girls. And Rose is like,
you know how royals have a lot of like international business in Vegas?
you know how it happens. You gotta take a business trip. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Rose is like, what? He loved his wife, first of all. How dare you? And he's like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he did. But he also loved the company of young, beautiful women. And that's it, you know? And it sucks that, you know, what happened to him.
This, to me, shows a lot of Rose's naivete to assume that a royal would... And maybe it's because the show was a lot more overt about this.
Yeah.
But to assume that a royal would not entertain this company.
Right. It would be consistently faithful.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that was how Andre was.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So you're thinking that, like, First of all, we have these really royal names. We don't know what Lyssa's mom's name was, but we have like Vasilissa,
right?
Andre, which I think is for a longer name, and then we have Eric.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what happened here?
All right. But it's like, this is not just like societal behavior, but it's also learned behavior. Where the fuck do you think Andre learned this from?
Yep.
Well, okay. So, thank you, NPC, for this valuable information.
Yeah. Got a new lore unlocked.
Right, exactly.
Oh, God.
I found it interesting that there was like a lot of stuff when they ended up leaving. And because like Adrian, I think, and Rose like walk away.
Yeah.
And Adrian specifically mentions after Rose is like, so you seem like happy here. That's weird.
Yeah.
Adrian specifically mentions like, I've been doing some thinking. I'm not really that happy, but we'll talk later. Like, we obviously have more important things to worry about.
First of which is getting money.
Right. Yeah, we need to get some cash money. Which is honestly like, he's not wrong.
Right.
If his dad is gonna like cut him off soon, he does need that, so he is smart.
Yeah, and apparently, because of Spirit, it's a very good hack for gambling. Very good way to cheat at gambling.
Yeah.
So it works out for everyone.
I thought that was interesting that, like, the rest of this night, because they don't get a flight until the morning, is just Adrian and Lyssa trying to figure out how they can cheat.
Right.
Here.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But they have to do it really covertly because there are so many guardians around.
Yeah, and it's like also energy of like knowing what cards are going to be in there, but also enough to like block everyone else from perceiving that you are doing that. Like, so it's like twofold kind of in a way. It's really interesting.
Right. Seems like a good enough distraction anyways. Because I don't think it's until they get to the airport that Rose's fear of what had happened when they left at the Luxor was actually confirmed. Because apparently, I don't know if it's because, for whatever reason, but it seemed like the witching hour didn't have, like, TV.
Right, yeah.
But when they got to the actual airport, there were national news, televisions everywhere, and they find out that there was like a mass killing at the Luxor because of Dimitri specifically.
Right.
They don't say that on the news,
right.
but like Rose and everyone knows. So great. More for Rose to be like, this is all my fault.
Right. And like as soon as Rose got like a sense of relief and they're like, we gambled, we had fun, like Lyssa and Adrian were so happy and making money, and now she's like back to self-loathing and putting everything back on me. Like that glimmer of hope is gone. We're done.
Right. I'm very curious because now they're flying back to Philadelphia and then they're going to court from there.
Yeah.
Like, any sense of disillusionment will immediately fade when they get back into the boundaries of court.
Right. And that's exactly what happens. Chapter 12, they're like, fuck. We're so fucked. The air is tense back in court. There's definitely a lot more stakes of punishment, right? Because like in school, they could be like, here, you get like detention or whatever. Or like, you know, you can't like graduate or something. But now they're like in the real world working and like training for assignments and everything and like trying to get good spots and everything. And that becomes much more real of this, right? And like Rose doesn't really internalize this yet. At this moment, she's like, you know, what else could I lose, right? Like, I know I'm not gonna be Lyssa's guardian. That was already on shaky ground anyway. And like, at least I have Tanya, and like I have all these like different things. Like, you know, Eddie has like really good prospects. Like, what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, she's still very much in the mindset right now that she is too good for them to do any significant damage to her.
Right.
And her job.
Exactly.
And, like, you're not wrong.
Right.
But you're gonna get a real fucking rude awakening right now.
Yeah, right.
Because Adrian and Lissa don't get any punishment.
Right.
Here.
Yes.
Eddie and Rose do.
Yeah. We get this meeting with Hans Croft.
It's not great.
Which is a wild
Fucking
name.
Hans.
Hans is really, really not sympathetic here. He's apparently in charge of all the Guardian assignments. He's, a big wig at the court or whatever. Always smells like cigar, which, great. And, like, hammers down on, like, this was irresponsible. You could have gotten Lissa killed. You were having fun playing with slot machines with your fake IDs, whatever. There's also a killer on the loose. That could have been wild. Like, you don't know. Like, whatever.
Right.
And we get these punishments, right? He's like, he's being like, hey, Eddie, like, I know you're part of this, but also, like, you might be lucky to, like, get out of this without too many repercussions. Like, you'll have something on your record forever. Your chance of having, like, a very prestigious person to guard is totally gonna be skewed. But you can still, like, you'll probably be able to make it work with, like, a lower tier person. And then he goes to Rose.
And then he fucking, like, snaps his neck over to Rose.
Right.
And gets in her face and is like, you're going to be lucky if you ever have a job. And Rose, because she's so used to getting in trouble at school, is like, okay.
Yeah, sure did.
Of course I'm going to have one. Like, not only does Tasha want me, but, like, you're too short on Guardians that you can't keep me sitting around.
Right. It's like, you need bodies. And he's like,
and at this point,
we do need bodies.
he's, like, happy about this.
Right. There's a smirk on his little face that, like, brings up something that Rose hadn't even considered up until this point. He's like, yeah, we need Guardians for all kinds of work. Like desk jobs, picking things up, cleaning up, doing menial tasks. And then it sets in to Rose. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna, like, relegate me to not even, like, work in the outside world at all. Like, not even, it's bad enough I can't have Lissa or, Tasha or any of these people. But now, I can't even be a guardian to anyone, is what that is being proposed at this moment.
Rose, a, like, I don't know what a fucking dog breed is that, like, needs to run a lot.
Sure, yeah.
Is being kept in, like, a small apartment now. A desk job.
Yeah.
And she had never, I don't know why she'd never thought of this before as, like, that would be punishment. Because, like, homie, that's Mikhail.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Right.
But,
and you saw them at the prison, too. Like, they existed there, too. There's all guardians doing
exactly.
all these kind of odd jobs. Because someone's got to do it,
Exactly.
And so yeah.
Rude awakening for Rose.
Yeah. They essentially get, like, community service for, like, the next few days of, like, we're going to test you out with some, like, manual labor for the next few days and figure out what's next for both of you. Just to get a sense of, like, what your lives could be like this.
It was so funny because she says, I knew they had Moroi workers for these kinds of things, and they were probably being given a vacation right now.
Yeah.
So Rose and Eddie could do these, which is so fucked.
Yeah.
But
so disrespectful.
I think it starts off, they're switching off between working on this, like, garden near the church and paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, filing stuff. Both of which are things she's very bored about doing.
Yeah, completely.
Because she's also being kept from Lissa at this time,
right.
too.
They are not allowed to speak to each other or see each other.
Yeah. It kind of seems like there's a lot of days that are going on between here. But there's a very important one that happens. And I think it's when they are working outside
Yes.
of the chapel, I think is what it is called.
Yeah. They're like raising a flower bed or something. You know, like
Right.
doing some gardening.
There are these two people that come by and they're having this conversation that Rose overhears.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, she's been like isolated from Lyssa.
Yeah.
She hasn't been able to talk to Adrian
Mm-hmm.
as well. Even though she's been with Eddie this whole time, Eddie's not talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie's giving her the silent treatment. And so these two women walk by and they're like speculating about what's been happening. And one of them is like, Lyssa went and left because of Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And Rose and Adrian went to Vegas to elope, and that the Queen's people barely got there in time to stop them. And apparently Rose, this is still like what the girl is saying, that Rose is overhearing. Rose declared nothing will keep her and Adrian apart.
Oof.
And Rose is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's
like,
Listen, I've had a
what
lot of
kind of game of
rumors.
telephone happened here?
Yeah, what's going on? It's like, I've had a lot of rumors about me very publicly, but this one is definitely a choice.
Yeah.
But she's also like, I guess it's kind of a good turn of events rather than like broke out a prisoner, but you know, still kind of a wild.
Yeah, no one's saying anything about Victor.
Right, but still very wild. And then we get a
How'd you
familiar
feel about
friend.
Christian?
We get our boy back. He's here.
I missed him.
I missed him so much. It's been so long. And Rose is obviously shocked because she also hasn't like spoken to a person this whole time because Eddie's not talking to her. She
Yeah.
can't talk to Lyssa. Adrian's not visiting her dreams. So she's just like spiraling. Like she's all alone essentially. Even though
Just
there are
word
people around.
vomiting.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, of course you guys got into trouble, like you rotten scoundrels, like you all. And
you did it without me.
right, how dare you? And like immediately picks up on the fact that they were responsible for Victor being broken out of jail. And Rose and
Right.
Eddie are like, what the fuck? Like, how did you know? And he's like, you guys are so obvious. Like, first of all three of you, like all of you just like fucked around to Vegas. Interesting. And at the same time, this like wild scheme heist comes out. That seems like a very Rose plan. Like,
I love this too because Rose is like, well, we got plane tickets and hotel receipts to prove it.
yeah.
So what are you talking about? And Christian is like, first of all, Rose, shut up. Keep working on your rose bed.
Yeah.
Second of all, as soon as I heard that 3 people had broken Victor out of prison, I knew it had to be you. 3 of you gone, no question. And Rose sees Eddie like stiffen at this point.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about this whole interaction is Rose is being very tight-lipped, not saying anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't want Christian to be... Because if he knows and then this ends up getting out, then he would be... he might get in trouble too.
Right. Yeah.
So Eddie fucking opens his trap and is like, I know everything. I'll tell you exactly how this happened. I know everything. Rose won't say it, but I will. I love this man. I love these two so much.
He's so good. He can't, he can't be stopped
He
once
has
he's
to be
get rolling.
honest.
Yeah, he has to tell the truth.
I love it. And so Eddie ends up saying about like why this happened. And he's like, well, it's because like Rose thinks Strigoi can be returned to their original form.
Yeah.
And naturally there's this argument happening between Rose and Eddie where she's like, what the fuck are you
She's like, shut up, stop. Enough.
Stop doing this.
There are people. People could hear us. Enough.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah. But he can't resist.
He can. He has to tell the truth.
And Christian is like
and mainly
fascinated
because
by this. Like,
Eddie's like, this is batshit. Like,
right.
she's on this wild mission and it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite moments about this too is like, so Christian and Eddie are kind of having this conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're talking about like, they're telling Christian about Victor's brother, and about how Bobby, claimed to have healed the Strigoi and all of this stuff. And we're getting to this point where like, Eddie is still coming back and being like, okay, so you don't even know the best part yet. And Rose says one of my favorite things that we've read so far, which is like, hey, Eddie, I know you're mad at me, but Christian's here. And if Christian's here, then we really don't need another person that's making snide comments.
It's like, I already get enough.
There can really only be one of us.
Can we, like, even this out a little bit, please? And they're both like, no, I think this is actually deserved. let's keep this going.
And this, I love that Christian's like, really just trying to take this in right now. Because he's like, tell me more. What do you mean?
Right. Because he's kind of fascinated by it. Because he's also like, listen, we knew about, like, Saint Vladimir and all that stuff. Like, if he was a spirit user, shouldn't he also have been doing that? If that was part of his whole thing? Like, that seems like something that would have occurred. Which, like, valid question. Incredibly valid.
Exactly. But the thing is, and that's why they explain it, is like, it wouldn't have been Vlad, it would have been Anna that would have had to do it.
Because it had to be the spirit itself.
The spirit.
The spiwi.
Yeah. And so naturally they get to the worst part, right? Where Eddie tells Christian about the fact that Rose can't do it. It would have to be Lissa. And Christian is naturally like, the wheels are turning, right? Because it's not just about Dimitri.
Yeah. He,
as we are starting to infer, right, is thinking about his family and also like every Strigoi. And unfortunately, this conversation continues, and Rose is like, "Everyone, shut up! Like, we can't do this. I can't let Lissa do this. Like, we can't do any of this. I'm sorry. Because I fucked up and I let Dimitri get away and I let Victor get away." And Christian's like, "No, wait, hold on.
Wait a damn minute.
What do you mean you let him get away?" And so I cried because there is there's a conversation that happens here with Eddie and Rose where they make up.
Yeah, because Eddie is like now a little bit less hostile, and it's like, and because Rose really does say her piece and being like, I am feeling all of these things all of the time. Like, I know you're mad at me, but you can't be madder than I feel about me.
Yeah.
And like, if there was any way I could have undone it, like, there's no way I would have known what was going to happen, and I'm going to beat myself up for it forever, but like, I didn't mean to do that. And then he's like, yeah, I mean, I believe you, and like, I'm your friend, and there's no way we could have known what was going to happen. And they like kind of have a little moment, which was very cute.
It was very cute, and it was soft and beautiful. Yeah. And then fucking Hans comes in and he ruins it.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be chit-chatting. And also, like, at some point, Christian just, like, evaporates into dust. Like, he's gone. He's like, I'm gonna let you guys get this punishment. I'm out of here. It's just, like, out. He's like, if you guys are gonna be talking all the time, I should just, like, separate you. And it's like, man, come on.
Man, come on.
Fucking
Hans.
This is all they have, Hans. And then Eddie just goes to do paperwork or something. Ugh.
Yeah. My favorite part so far is the end of this chapter.
Oh, man. There's so many things are happening at this.
Because Rose is like, just had this huge situation, and now she's like still back to like shoveling dirt.
Yeah.
And assumes like Christian did a fucking magic trick that she didn't see, and he disappeared.
Right.
And Eddie's gone, so she's alone with her dirt and the rosebud.
And her thoughts, which is not great.
And her thoughts, which is bad.
And then is obviously thinking about Lissa and sort of like slips into her mind unintentionally. And
right.
guess where Christian went? To Lissa's room.
These two, I hate them so much.
He was speed running. He was just ready to go as soon as he got this information. And Lissa, of course, is like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, it's late. Also, like, you don't want to talk to me. I don't really want to talk to you. Like, what the fuck's going on? And Christian's like, I know everything. So, I want to talk about it.
He says the magic words. He says Victor and Bobby, and she's like, fuck. Okay, well, get in here. Shut up.
Yeah, god damn it. Why is our plan falling apart at the seams at every moment? And Christian says,
so he asks her,
yeah,
like, do you really do you think that you could bring back a Strigoi?
Mm-hmm. And she's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Like, perhaps, but also, like, she knows that she's not a fighter. She knows that she really couldn't stake a Strigoi, but she's like, I think I could. I have to try if I could even make this stake with Spirit.
Right.
Like, I just have to, like, know that in the universe, because that could just be an implication for other things. Even if it's not bringing someone to life, maybe it's, like, another use case for something, right? And maybe this is just not technology that we've, like, really understood yet, and it could be interesting and, like, impactful. So I just gotta figure it out.
Right.
And
so the gears are turning in his brain.
Yeah.
And he's like, so, you're going to that university that you want to go to in the morning to visit.
Right.
She's like, yeah.
And your birthday party.
He's like, and your birthday party? And he's like, and Rose got cut from the trip? She's like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. He's like,
and
what if?
He's like, what if the queen is still letting you bring someone else, though, right?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, why?
Like, where are you going with this? And Christian's
he's like, bring me.
Yeah, take me with you. Ooh. What if you?
What if? His fucking fingers pointing each other.
Yeah, I'm literally doing that right now. I'm cosplaying Christian right now. And she's like, why on earth would I ever do that? And he drops the fucking mic. And it's like, because I can teach you how to stake a Strigoi. Damn.
I know right now, Rose, in the middle of this flower bed, is just screaming.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck? What did I just say?
These two hooligans cannot be left alone.
No, they cannot. But I love them.
So chapters 13 and 14. So Christian is going with Lissa on her birthday trip. They have a mission now, but they're just doing it because of that. Not because they're still in love with each other, because they definitely are.
They're definitely not going to kiss. Not once. Or
they're
even
definitely
think about it.
Probably not going to, like, practice and be in really close proximity with each other.
Right, in like a really hot, sexy way. Yeah, certainly not.
Ferrero, why do you do this to each other? And Rose is just going to be screaming.
Yeah.
This is worse torture for her than having to do, like, manual labor.
Literally, though.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be crying about that until we get to our chapters next week. Could you tell me about our fantastic patrons and start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Katie Black.
Ooh, thank you to Kylie Minty.
Pew, pew. Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh, thank you to Mulch Gray.
Mulch! Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
O'Shea. Thank you to Kati Karp.
Ow. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Ooh. Thank you to Rachel Ashford.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Vivian Yulee.
Ooh. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ow. Thank you to Samara Rinaldi.
Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ow. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh. Thank you to my mom, your mom, our mom, Kelly Beck.
Ow, Mom. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh. It's time for Laura 40.
Ow,
Come on down.
Come on down.
Do, do, do.
Thank you to Dan
Dun, dun, dun.
Sacklows.
Woo. Thank you to Maria Swan.
Ow, ow. Thank you to India Peach.
Ooh. Thank you to Emily Ozera.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Jaylene Ivashkov.
Ooh. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Ow.
I have a fan fiction for you
Yes.
that is titled... No. That was written by Twihard24.
Amazing.
It is titled "La Push Me Off a Cliff."
Okay.
This was written in February of 2009.
Hell yeah.
And the summary is, he was getting milk. I was getting milk. We bonded over dairy products. I said mockingly. She rolled her eyes. You make everything sound so stupid. This is a Paul and OC.
Okay.
Which is original character, friends. And this is from chapter 2.
Amazing.
I should also mention that this has almost 74,000 words.
Holy shit.
So,
Strap in, everyone.
which is so many. Okay, chapter 2. He jumped and whirled around. I guess he hadn't realized I was there. I looked at his completely lost face and stopped breathing. It felt like someone had just punched me in the esophagus when I met his deep brown eyes. I couldn't even blink. It was like someone took an out-of-focus picture. The world just seemed to blur around him. Everything seemed to zero in on him. Which I so didn't mind that much, by the way. He really had to be the most attractive guy I had ever seen. He, in fact, was really muscular. In a good, possibly make me drool kind of way. He had broad shoulders and the most gorgeous face. My eyes were completely glued to his. It suddenly occurred to me that we have been staring at each other for a good 5 minutes, and I was able to pry my eyes away from his perfect face. Whoa, perfect face? What the hell? I looked back at him and saw that he was holding a gallon of milk in each hand. One was whole, and the other was 2%. Do you need some help, or do you just enjoy looking at milk? I repeated, a little timid this time, which was weird for me. Really weird. He looked back down at the milk he had, and then looked up at me with a sheepish grin on his handsome face. No, well, you see, I didn't realize that there were more than one kind, he stuttered, as if he was thinking 500,000 things when he was talking to me. Boys. Well, I always get 2%, if that helps, I said, as I stepped around him and grabbed my own gallon. As I brushed past him, I felt the sudden urge to reach out and touch him, but that would be really weird. I'll take your word for it, he said, as he put 1 gallon back and the other in his not very full cart. So, what are you buying? He asked before I could step away. End scene.
Wow. 5
Do you
minutes
ever
is such
stare
a
at
long
someone for 5 minutes?
That's an incredibly long time to stare. I feel like I would be scared if that contact went that long.
That sounds to me like literal torture.
Yeah. But I mean, chase your truth,
So if you are interested in someone having an imprint moment in the dairy, I guess it's really not an aisle. It's usually more in the back of the store.
Sure.
There are 74,000 words for you to enjoy. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love to see it.
So, and every time I try to open fanfiction.net, my computer is like, I need to make sure that this is not a virus. So we know it's secure.
Yeah.
Well, friends, you have a new show.
Yeah.
So please enjoy.
Enjoy.
Since our preferred show got fucking canceled.
Yeah.
So, Take care of yourselves. If you choose to eat potatoes, please don't only eat potatoes.
Right. A little variety. And consistency.
Yeah,
These are lessons.
consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
Get bit.
and get whipped.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.